Sound is on. Transition. And hello, everyone. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing all right? Anything exciting you've been up to?
No.
I haven't been up to too much exciting either. Had an
I did go
event
to Shades the
yesterday.
other day.
Oh, nice. How was that?
It was nice. It was shady.
Hmm. I don't have a whole lot to share. So I am ready to get started with some Sudokus then. Boop. And starting with our first puzzle today, Sudoku by James Cobb. Things situated. Link in the chat if you'd like to give it a go. Sudoku by James Cobb. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Adjacent digits along the orange line have a difference of at least 4. Each cage has digits that sum to 3, and the central digit of the puzzle is even. Well, if those are a 1-2 pair, then something that's at least 4 away from 2 is 6. Well, these are 5 through 9 because 1 plus 4 is 5. These are 3 through. I guess I should ask, where is 1 and 2 in here? 1 and 2 are removed from those. And similarly over here, that. Chip Sounder says, hey, Chip Sounder, how are you doing this evening? Or I guess this morning for you. Well, should I go ahead and do red and blue coloring? This can't hurt. Chip says, just finished making a puzzle. It took me a whole day. It can take quite a long time to write puzzles, although a whole day does sound like it might have been a faster puzzle, possibly. Okay, well, these two could not both be. This could not be a 1-2 pair, so I can't have red. So red would have to be down here. Same's not true over here. Well, it can't be 1 or 2. So that removes the ability for that to be 5.
Or
Or
6.
yeah.
So
Which
that's 3 or
means
4. If you look at cells 1, 3, 5, 8, and 9, or 7 and 9, yeah.
so that means one of these two has to be 5, and the one that it pairs with is going to have to be 1. Well, I couldn't use a 6. Because if I made one 6, then it would have to pair with 1 or 2 on the other side. And that's true of 7 as well. 1, 2, well, no, even 1, 2, or 3 with the 7. Now, the one on the right can't be a 5 because it has 3 neighbors. And 5 can only be surrounded by 1 and 9. Is the same true of 4, which can only have 8 and 9 as
8, 9.
neighbors?
Yes.
And I guess 6 was 1 and 2 as neighbors, so that was already out. But I think I can be all of the digits, because 3 and 7 is 4 apart. Chip Sounder says, I don't really want them to be very hard puzzles, but ones you can chill with a coffee. Nice. Although I don't know if the difficulty of the resulting puzzle necessarily changes how long it takes to set the puzzle. But I'm also not a setter, so I think I would just simply I think I would have to take the position. No, I don't think there was anything wrong with what I said, even though I'm not a setter. I could be wrong. Even if this was a 5, I guess that means that this could be a 9, which makes it difficult to continue the logic around. Oh, does that mean I might have messed up in the top corner? On F puzzles, you can make 4 by 4 up to 16 by 16. Love to make a 16 by 16 puzzle one day. That would be quite the task. Although it's clearly not impossible. How would you get? I don't. I guess I'm not sure why I'm like hesitating. Like, why would that be? There's a part of me that feels weird about a 16 by 16 puzzle, but like, I'm not sure why. This feels quite silly for me to have my brain hesitate on that. Yeah, brain being quite silly. Yeah, this one could go 1, 5, and 9. So we should take a look at this one again. So around the 1 and the 2, I could do a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now this one can't be a 5 because it has a neighbor that's 2. Now if this one was a 5, you could go 1, 5, 9. But if it's not a 5, it must be a low digit or a 5. Now it can't be 1 or 2.
Well, no, it couldn't be a 5 in the center.
Alright, because it would have to have a 5 as a neighbor. Or excuse me, 1
It
or
would
2
have to have
is.
a 1.
Yeah, the 1 is. Is my brain already cooked? That's really, really annoying. Alright. If it's low digit, it's 3 or 4. The only way this is a 9 is if this was the 5. So I can't have a 5 here. So the 3 to the 4 was with the 9. So then that would be 7, 8, 9.
Right, and if... Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Although, if this was a 9, that's 3 or 4, and that's 3 or 4. If this is 3 or 4, basically I can't. This could not be 3 or 4, or it couldn't not be 3 or 4, because those would be the only 2 other spots where 3 or 4 could go, and those wouldn't be 4 apart. So this has to be 3 or 4 still. What am I missing? there something about this corner here? Could I make it any particular number? Like, could I ask it to be 5? If you put a 9 to the left.
Well, it can't be 6.
This one can't be 6?
Right. Because it would be 2 below it, but what would it be to the left? It
Or
can't.
4? Yeah. So 6 does have to be down here. I really don't know. And my brain's already cooked, which is not great. Well, you couldn't put 6 as any of these, because they would have to have 1 and 2 as neighbors.
Right.
And you can't put 7 here, because it would have to have 1, 2, or 3 as neighbors.
Can't put 5 because it would have to have 1 and 9.
Right. 5 is only taken out of the middle.
Right.
4 is 8, 9. 3 is 7, 8, 9. 8 is 3, 4. And 9 is 3, 4, 5.
All right. Well, since we have to have at least we have to have 1 of 3, 4 on on box 9. There has to be 1 of 3, 4 on the left on
Mm-hmm.
box. So it has to be in the middle.
You're saying it can't be.
Well, since you can't have both 3 and 4,
Yeah.
because the only other thing you could do would be have to be 5. Well, 5 is eliminated. So 3, 4 has to be. Why is it 8, 9 over there in cell 2 of box 7? To be
If
3,
this
4.
was 3, 4 over here,
Oh,
then
and-
if it was both over here, then you'd end up with this.
right, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
So you have to have 1 of 3, 4 on either side. So 3, 4 has to be the center of both box 7 and box 9 of row 9.
Except you can put a 9 in the middle and have it be 3, 4, 5 on both sides.
Oh, right, because it doesn't affect the up.
could make this an 8. So, okay. If I made this middle one a 4, then I'd have 8, 9 pair. And then that would
3 would go
force
with
this to
7,
be a 3. But
and you can't do it.
it couldn't go with 5. So that removes 4 as an option for both of these then, doesn't it?
Yeah, for the same reason, because if it's 4 on the right in box 9, then it's the same thing. It's an 8, 9 pair. Leaving 3, 4, 5, 7, which only
3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. That makes this a 6. The 6 has to have 1 and 2 as neighbors, which means it can't go for any of these.
well, and that's a 3, 9 pair in row 9.
That's true. And one of them is 4, 5, and the other is 7, 8. Do I have a similar thing going on in the top row? No, because this is 1 or 2. Well, this is 4, 5, 7, or 8. A 4 would be 8, 9. An 8 can go into 4. 5 is just 1 or 9. Well, 5 would have to be a 1. Actually, could this be a 9? This would be a 3. And then that would be 7 or 8. So that could be a 9. And a 4 would be an 8, 9 pair. 3, 7. And actually, if I don't have a 5, low, high, low, high, low, high, so then without a 5, low, high, low, high, low, high. This would have to be a 9. It would force a 5 next to it, which could be the 5 here. That would be perfectly fine. I guess I should actually think about this from the different perspective of this is a 3 and a 7, 8. low, high, low, high. So one of those would have to be a 5. And if this was a 9, one of these two has to be 5. But I don't know if that matters. I mean, it takes 5 out of this one. Because a 9 places a 5 as one of these two, and a 3 makes 5 one of those two. And so, if a 5 ends up being required, so does the 1 and the 9 that is going to be around it. Except not necessarily the 1, because I could do 5, 9 in the corner. This was 3, 7, 8. This would be low, so this would have to be a 6. I don't know why I'm struggling to work my way through this. What can this end up being? Well, it can't be a 5, because below it can't be 1 or 9. So, and it can't be a 9, because below it would be 7 or 8.
Right.
If this was a 7, it would have to be 1, 2, or 3 next to it, which doesn't work. An 8 can have a 4 as a neighbor. 6 has to have 1 or 2 as a neighbor. And so one of these two has to be 8, doesn't it? Because a 3 is going to be a 7, 8 pair, and a 9 is going to be a 4, 5 pair, but that could make one of these a 1, and 7 or 8 is going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. But I could do 9, 4, 8 as an What am I missing?
Silence. There's silence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm struggling to think through this puzzle. I don't even know what I am supposed to think about the puzzle.
All right, well, let's look at the short line that goes from box 4 to box 8. Both ends see 1 and 2. So if it's low,
Put a 6 in the middle.
and well, it could be 5 because it could be both 9s.
Yeah. This one isn't required to not be 2. So I don't know what to think about it. Where can I put 6 in this box? It can't go here. It can't go here. Neither of those can be 6, and neither of those can be 6. So then where is 6 in this box? Well, if it's not here and not there, then that one's not a 6. That one can't be a 6. 6 is one of these two. And what about this box? It's not in the bottom row. Then it can't be here. And it can't be there. But it could be any of those 4. I guess it couldn't be the top left. It could be any of these 3.
in box 4, the center of that short line, if it's 1 or 2, it would have to be blue, which makes the one in box 6 red, and the bottom 9 blue. So 1 and 2 would have to be column 1 in box 7 with red over blue. Which makes that 3, 4, 8 in box 7.
Yeah. If this is 6, then that's a 1 2 pair. And if this is 6, then that's 1 or 2. This can't be 1 or 2.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, I think I just saw something. If in box 4, that is 1, 2 in the center.
Yeah.
That's blue. Where would red go in box 9?
This one is blue. Then this one's blue. Red would be one of those two. Except
Oh no, it would
blue,
have to be
red, blue, red.
okay, it would have to be the center of the E.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I swapped
Oh, except this one could be 1 or 2 still. It just sees the reds.
what are we missing?
I don't know. If this is 6, then we get a 1 2 pair here. And a 1 2 pair here. So if 1 and 2 and 6 is gone, then you'd have 1 2 6 here. So you couldn't have 5 in the middle. Now this is 4, 5, and 9. 8, and that 3, 7, 8. Which would have to be 3 in the middle. Otherwise, you have 3, 7, 8 bottom. And that's if this is a 6. If you get the 6 here, then this would be a 6. And those are the only options. But if this were 1 and 2, then these would both have to be high. I guess it would just basically be 5, 7, 8 if that was a 1 or a 2.
On in box 7, that center digit on the top row can't be a 6 because it would have to be bounded by 1, 2, which
Oh, right.
breaks.
So this has to be 3 or 9.
Yeah. And 6 in the center. If that's 6, it's 1, 2, 1 or 2 beside it.
Yeah. This is 6, then those are both 1, 2. But if 6 has to be one of these two now, then it can't be this one, so that's a 6.
Right.
So that's 1 or 2.
And 1 or 2, box 9, 1, 2 can't go down to a 3 or 4. It has to be an 8.
And then if 4, this is 9. With 4 or 5.
And that's a 3. It can't be a 7 next to the 8. And 7, that can't be 7 now. In box 8, because 7 has to would be 1, 2, or 3, and it can't be 3, so
8 can't pair with 5 or 9. Eight can't pair with 5.
now look at box 1, or well, you can do clean up 3. Well, now column 3, they're in box 4. You can't have 1, 2 in the center.
This can't be a 4, so that would be 8 or 9. Can't be a 5, that would be 1 or 9. But 7, 8, and 9 all work. Except, no, they don't work. Because this is 5, 7, or 8.
Right. 5 would go to 9, would go to 3. 7 goes to 3, goes to 7. 8 goes to 3, goes to 7.
So one of those two is 3.
Box 3, the 7, 9, they're at the 7 can't go to 4, so that's got to be a 9. A 9 goes to 4 or 5. And now the short line that goes from box 2 to box 4, it sees both ends see 1, 2.
This sees it from the left. This one
And the
sees
other
it
end
from the
sees
red.
it. Yeah.
So the middle definitely can't be a 6. And actually, this one sees it as well, because blue and red.
Right. So the
So
top
none
can't
can
be.
be 6. Now this is 5, 7, or 8. So this
If it's
couldn't
5, it
be.
goes to 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be 7 or 8. Or
Or 5.
5.
Which of these can see 1 or 2? Well, neither of those. But this one's still a possibility.
Yeah.
So neither of those can be 6. 8, 7, 3, 6, and 9.
In column 9, the 7 has to be in box 6. So that takes the 7 out of the center digit.
1, 2, 3,
5, 6, 7.
6, 7. If this was a 2, you'd have to do 6 and 7 and a 5. But if this was a 1, and that one the 2, you'd have 6 and a 7.
Oh, in column 9, in box 6, you can't have 1 or 2 because that would be both 1 2s, which would leave 3 5. And 3 okay, 5 can go to 1, but 3 can't go to 2 because 1 2 would have to be in column 8.
Right.
So you cannot have 1 or 2 in, yeah. Fact 9 in column 7 has to be in box 6.
What could these two be? We know one of them is 1 or 2. 6, 9, 3. If I
The
were to place
5
a 4, it would have to be 8 or 9.
the 5 has to be in column 9. Otherwise, that has to be
Right.
only one of
No, it
those
could
could
be
be.
5 here.
Well, no, but look where it leaves 1 2 and 3. Well, one of them's from 1 2 and the other is 3. If 5 is not in column 9.
Uh-huh. Oh, because one of
Well,
these
neither
has to
one can go
be...
one of those has to be 1 from 1 2. So, it's 5 goes to 1. So, in box 6, it's 3 6 7 in column 9. So, in box 3, then column 9, it's 2 and 5. 5 goes to 1, 2 goes to 7 or 8. Okay.
This has to be 3, 6, or 8. Because it can't be 7.
Right.
And if...
2 goes to 7 goes to 3. 5 goes to 1 goes to 6 or 8. Okay, the short line from 2 to 6, going from the bottom up, 2 or 5 goes to 9, goes to 3, 4, 5, that's fine. 8 goes to 4, goes to 9, so that can't be 7 on the top. Back row 3, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7.
If this was 2, you'd have 1 and 5. Five, 6, 7, 8. So where can 8 go in this box? It's not here because of the 8, 9 pair, which takes 8 out. This 8 moves it from those 2. That's a 1 or a 2. And this can't be an 8 because why? If it was an 8, it would have to pair with 1, 2, 3, or 4, none of which can go here. So 8 has to be one of these 2, so that's If this is 1, we have 5 and 6 or 7. No, it would be 5 and 6. Because the 2 over here would have to pair with 7 and 6. The 2 would have to be 6, 7, and 5. So if the 2 is 6 and 7 and 5, pairing with 1, pairing with 8, we have 3, 4, 9. But a 1 is 5 and 6. 2, 7, 3, 4, 9 pair, and an 8.
Ah, but that, well, no. 'Cause that just means that it would have to be 9 on the left.
We have now spent more than an hour on this puzzle,
Yes, but
and
we
my brain
finally
is
started
melting.
making progress after staring at it for
Yeah,
half of that.
I don't even know why my brain is so fuzzy. Is there something with box 3 that. Because these would be a 1, 7 pair. 1 is going to pair with 8, or 1 is going to pair with 6. I guess it's just the 3 that pairs with the 7. So this would be 3, 7, and 2. Make this a 1 or a 5. Go 3 is gone, 1 is gone. Can't have 1 or 2 in either of these. don't know what else to look at. If this was a 9, then you'd have 3 or 4 here. That's not 9. So if this was 4, that would be 9. 4, a pair of 9s, a 5, another 9, and where are 9s in here? Not here, not here, not there.
Well, the 9 in the corner of box 2 makes that a 3-8 pair around it. So that would be 4 in the center of the short line from 2 to 4.
So the 9 makes this 3 or 4. And
Well, no, 9 doesn't make it 3 or 4. 9 creates a 3-8 pair in row 3. To the right and left of that would now be
right,
3-8, making
so
that a
that has to
4.
be 4, which would make this 8. Three, 7, 2, 5, 7, 3, 9, 5. 4 pairs with 8. This is 9, so that's 8. Blue would be 2, red would be 1. 2
Oh, well,
can't
wait a minute.
pair.
Is the center of box 4 a 5?
Yeah,
Look at
but
box 1. That's a 5.
right. However, I just realized these two. If this was a 2, what could that be? Well, it couldn't be 4
Oh,
or 5. So that's 1, that's 2. 1, 2, 2, 1, 7, 2, 5, 1.
I can't believe that didn't occur to either of us.
Yeah,
And we know the 1 has to go to 5. It can't go to 4.
7, 5, 6, 3, 8, 5, 4. 7s are gone. 4s are gone. 2s are gone. 5s are gone. 6, 5, 8s are gone. This isn't a 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, not 3, not a 3. That's an 8. That's a 5, which has to pair with 9. That's a 4, 6. 9, not 2. These aren't 5 or 9. These 2 aren't 5. Let's see. 6 tops 2.
And the short line from box 2 to box 4?
It's gone. Three. Where's 4? Not here, not here, and apparently not here or here. This one can't be a 4 because that one can't be 8 or 9.
Yeah, box 4, that's the only. So box 5, the 4 is placeable.
Not here, not here, not here, not there. Eight has to be one of those two. Alpha. Three would pair with 8 and 7. Six, 7, 9. 6 is there. 7 is there. Not 1 or not. But 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. 2 and 7, 3 and 5. That would be 1, 3, 9. And it gives me a contradiction. Or there's a contradiction here. Either way, it's not the central digits. So that's an 8, that's a 3, 5, 7, 3. No. There's 8 in this row. 8's out of those. Those aren't 8. That's not an 8. 1 isn't 8. And that can't be 8. So that is 5 and 2. 6, 3, 8. 2, 7, 3. 1, 7, 5, 2, 9. 6, 7, 1, 7, 6. 1, 2, 8. No, 7, 8. 9, 8. First try.
Wow.
I struggled with that puzzle quite a bit.
Yes.
I don't know if it was a hard puzzle or if my brain's just not working.
Yeah, neither one of us was seeing anything, so.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have
No.
to say that I have to be done because my brain is not improved. As much as I don't want to leave it at one puzzle, and we're like 40-some minutes early, but spoilers. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to call it. Unless you think we should try and force ourselves into another puzzle.
It's gonna be up to you. If you feel your brain is that fried, then
Yeah, I'm going to say my brain's that fried. It's a bit annoying, but that's okay. We'll just try again tomorrow. Hopefully my brain is more intact. I don't even know why. Anywho, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube engagement stuff. And we'll be back tomorrow with some more Sudoku. Until next time.